Now, has the U.S. President Donald Trump pushed Iran to breach the 2015 nuclear deal, leaving it no option but to escalate tensions and promise a reactionary tit-for-tat policy to America's crippling economic sanctions? In the latest, Iran has restarted uranium enrichment beyond the permissible limits set by the 2015 deal with world leaders. Iran says it had long waited long enough for the remaining signatories of this deal to take action against the U.S. imposed sanctions, but nothing has changed. So a spokesperson for Iran's nuclear agency has now hinted, on state television no less, that the country might consider 20% enrichment as its next step. A move that should worry non-proliferation experts because 20% is a short technical step away from reaching weapons-grade levels of 90%.
بله گزینه 20% هست، گزینه‌های بالاتر از اون هست. اینها همش منتها هر کدوم در جای خودش. قرار نیست که مثلا امروز چون در واقع نیاز کشور یه چیزی دیگه است ما سراغ یه چیز دیگه بریم به خاطر اینکه مثلا این یه خورده بیشتر مثلا طرف مقابل رو میترسونه.
U.S. President Donald Trump warned Iran to be careful of the repercussions. Trump's warnings have come thick and fast, but do not seem to change anything.
Iran better be careful, because you enrich for one reason, and I won't tell you what that reason is, but it's no good. They better be careful.
The 2015 nuclear deal allowed Iran to enrich uranium to 3.67% levels, but Iran has said that it will gradually downscale its commitments if world powers fail to find a way to bypass the American sanctions. Iran is threatening to do so in phases. The first phase of enrichment will hike enrichment to 5%, which is far from the weapons-grade enrichment, but Iran says every 60 days this process will be stepped up, and that puts Iran increasingly closer to obtaining military-grade uranium. Iran has always denied that it wants to build a nuclear weapon. But if it enriches enough uranium, it could indeed build a nuclear weapon in about 1 year's time. Watching keenly are other powers in the world. Israel, for one, asked European nations to act swiftly against Iran. While in a bid to stop Iran from acting on its threats, the French President Emmanuel Macron called his counterpart Hassan Rouhani to ask for more time, and Japan called on Iran to return immediately to its commitment to the nuclear deal.
Iran has violated its solemn promise under the UN Security Council not to enrich uranium beyond a certain level. The enrichment of uranium is made for one reason and one reason only. It's for the creation of atomic bombs. The leaders of the P5+1 promised and committed themselves to snap back sanctions the minute Iran did that. It just did. Where are you?
We have called on Iran to not to take further measures that undermine the nuclear deal, and we now strongly urge Iran to stop and reverse all activities that are inconsistent with the commitments made under the JCPOA. That also includes the production of low-enriched uranium beyond the respective JCPOA stockpile limits.
ですね。現在の核合意を取り巻く情勢や中東地域における緊張の高まりを深刻に懸念をしております。注視をしているところでございます。イランに対して核合意を遵守し、核合意上のコミットメントに即座に戻るとともに、核合意を損なうさらなる措置を控えるよう改めて強く求めていく考えであります。
While Iran maintains it is ready to get back to the nuclear deal's framework, the prerequisite is either the lifting of U.S. imposed sanctions or a mechanism to allow the world to trade with Iran. Iran says it has exercised, quote-unquote, strategic patience, and all parties have had more than 1 year to save the deal, but failing to do so, they forced Iran to take tougher steps. That, at least, is Tehran's version.